All right, good people. How are you? I hope that all is well. Sorry with the behinds. Of course, I don't know. Something about my little toddlers. Everybody needs something right at go time. And I prep everything before they're supposed to go. So you understand? But real life, real mom, real literacy. So anyway, I hope everybody is well. Let's get into it. Today we are talking about Granville T. Woods, and I'm excited to share his story because it is one that is definitely impactful. Let me start with this because I didn't know that he was actually buried in Queens. I'm a Queens girl, so what's up, Queens? And I thought that was so interesting to learn about his life in NYC and stuff like that. Let me get into it. So there's something powerful about a child who has big ideas. They imagine, they question, they think beyond what's in front of them. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. A vision alone is not enough because without structure, vision becomes fantasy, and without vision, structure becomes routine. So, the real question is this: how do we raise children who don't just dream, but know how to build? Today, I want to introduce you to someone who didn't just have ideas, he engineered them into reality. Today, we reset structure. All right, let me get him back up here and let's get into his story. Okay. Granville T. Woods was born in 1856, and unlike many inventors we hear about, he had very little formal education. From some things I gathered around him, he stopped going to school at like age 10 to kind of help and work out with the family. But despite all of that, what he did have was curiosity. He was fascinated by how things worked, especially machines, electricity, and communication systems. As a young man, he worked in railroads and engineering environments. And instead of just doing the job, he studied everything around him. He observed, he asked questions, he learned through experience. Now, here's where it gets powerful. Woods didn't just imagine better systems, he built them. He created over 50 patents, and I believe it's closer to like 60 if I'm remembering from research, right? And these included inventions that improved railway communication and safety. One of his most important contributions allowed trains to communicate with each other, helping prevent collisions. Think about that. He didn't just have ideas about improvement, he designed systems that protected lives. And what's even more interesting, he faced challenges, competition, and even people trying to claim his work. But he stayed focused on building because his vision wasn't just in his mind, it was in his execution. I think that that's a very important piece that we have to. We will plan, organize, and then fail on execution or follow up. I'm guilty of it myself, which is why I'm like, oh yeah, this he is a good person for us to study and evaluate and look at how literacy has helped shape him to make sure that he executes. I feel like going through his story, I felt more personable about him because he has something to also prove, not to prove to people around him, but to even prove to himself. Because remember, he stopped going to school around the age of 10. So the principle that we're going to take from out of this is that vision without structure is fantasy, and structure without vision is just another routine. Okay. And so that's something that we should definitely harp in on and make sure that it's clear, because the percentage of people that just don't follow through on things is extremely high. How do we know? Because everyone starts off the new year with all of these goals that they don't end up finishing through. By like month 2 or month 3, they said most people have already dismantled the goals and they're on to whatever is current in their lives, or it's on to the next thing, right? And so even with that, right, with me building this series and stuff, managing a few things, I'm like, oh my God, this has kept me focused and kept me in execution mode, making sure that I show up, making sure that whether you guys see me or don't see me, that I'm here every day with a new video to drop on these 30 architects. It's also about holding yourself accountable as well. There's so many different layered lessons in this that I think we can all learn and really benefit from. Right? So let me tell you, Granville T. Woods, he had both. He had vision and he had structure. He had a vision. He could see what was possible. He also had structure because he studied, tested, built, and refined. This is where many homeschool environments struggle. Whether we either learn too far into ideas without systems, or systems without purpose. And, some people will say, well, I want my child to be creative and confident and successful. That's vision, but without the structure to actually carry it through, that vision never becomes reality. Other parents may focus on worksheets and schedules and checklists. That structure, but now without the vision, learning becomes mechanical, right? This is when everybody starts to burn out and like, this is not fun anymore. And I start to dread it. And I don't want to do this anymore, mom, right? Or dad. Architect parents understand something different. They design environments where vision actually guides, the direction, and structure supports the growth. That's where real learning happens. I am an advocate for literacy being fun, being innovative, being hands-on, being something that children can identify with, and definitely making it a marker of here's reality and here's where it shows up in reality. Things make sense when we start to connect the dots and when we actually have real follow through. And so, how do we apply this into your homeschool today, as well as my homeschool too, right? So let's get into what our architect action steps can be to help follow this through. First, connect learning to purpose. Instead of asking, what assignment should my child complete? Ask, what is my child building through this? Are they learning to think, to communicate, to solve problems? Give learning a purpose beyond completion. Second, build systems that support the vision. If your goal is to raise a strong reader, then your environment should include daily reading time, meaningful conversations about the text, opportunities to write and express ideas that came through from the text. That structure aligned with vision. Third, encourage creation, not just consumption. Granville T. Woods didn't just study systems, he created them. Let your child design something, explain something, build something, because creation is where learning becomes real. I'm going to tell you, as a person with small ones, those magnetic blocks are everything. They have all different ones. Where you can build your homes, your castles, and all other type of stuff, but they have ones that actually have like roads and emergency vehicles. And now I've seen something that I believe had dinosaurs or something like that. And they have ones that actually have the alphabet letters on them too. This video is not sponsored by anybody. I'm just telling you good tea, because these are things that will keep these children focused, engaged, building, creative, and then have the ability to explain to you what it is that they actually was building, right? That we want to fuel and support that. So this is where our role shifts. You're not just guiding your child through lessons, you are helping them become someone who can think, design, build, and contribute. You are raising a child who understands that ideas matter, but execution is what changes the world. And that starts with how you design your homeschool, not perfectly, but intentionally. I hope that all of this is making sense and connecting for you whenever you get to this video, right? If this message resonates with you and you're realizing that your homeschool needs more clarity, more structure, or just even more intentional design, then I want to invite you to the next step, which is the Reading for Smiles community, my offer as homeschool studio, where we begin to work this together. Inside the studio, you'll find the architect parent course, where we walk through how to design your homeschool with purpose and confidence. And if you're ready to even go deeper, then I have the homeschool roadmap intensive, which will now officially launch April 9th. April 9th is the first meeting of the first cohort, and we will actually build your blueprint, because your child doesn't just need lessons. They need a learning environment that was designed specifically around them and for them. And remember, you're not just teaching your child, you are architecting their future. That is huge. That's not a misnomer, a misstep, or any of the sort. And so I never like to take that too lightly. I take it seriously, but you got to have a little bit of fun with it, because we're working with babies. My thing is this, and life is to be enjoyed. So I'm a big stickler for that as well. Join the community, get tapped in. The link is in the description. Again, I have the roadmap webinar also happening on the 26th. I believe it's the 26th. Hold on, you guys. Yes, it's the 26th, and it's actually scheduled at our time. So what I will do is make sure that the video for that day is dropped in advance. So let me actually share this screen with you guys. So yeah, this is the first webinar I'm doing. I'm doing about 8. I'm going to drop this link into the chat or the comments so that it's there. Okay. This is how we get to plan your homeschool year without overwhelm. This is a part of my webinar series that I have going on. You only need to attend one. You can get all of the materials and things that you need from the website itself. But for this webinar, this is the first one, and it's going to be March 26th at 1:30 p.m. All right. And so, like I said, the literacy reset series will still continue. The video will it'll just drop. It'll already be on the channel, because sometimes if we're even going on the road, I try to do some videos in advance. All right. So I hope that you and yours are well. This has been the Literacy Reset. If you have questions, please never fear to reach out. Leave them in the chat. You can also send an email to support@readingforsmiles.org. And yeah, I'll put it back up there just for a second. I hope that you and yours enjoy your wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with episode 21. This has been the Literacy Reset. Today, we reset structure. Many parents ask me, what exactly do you do at Reading for Smiles? Let me show you. Our mission at Reading for Smiles is very simple. We help families raise confident readers, writers, and thinkers. We also produce a YouTube series called Literacy Reset, where we explore powerful literacy lessons through the lives of great thinkers, innovators, and leaders. We have a community called the R4S Homeschool Studio, where homeschool parents come together to learn, plan, and support each other. For parents inside the community, you guys can learn through two courses: the Architect Parent, which helps you design homeschool with intention, and the Confident Reader and Writer course, which is a framework for building strong literacy at home. We also offer a homeschool roadmap intensive, where we help parents plan their homeschool year with clarity. And for the babies, of course, we create literacy learning packs, have on demand courses, and I also have ebooks for parents to help them strengthen their homeschools by developing reading, writing, and thinking skills and programs and projects in the house. If you're homeschooling and you want support raising strong readers and thinkers, then definitely come join our community on school. We can't wait to have you there with us.